High above the Arctic Circle, where the ice cuts deeper than politics and the wind carries the whispers of old wars, a quiet military powerhouse is awakening. This isn't your typical global titan. No superpower headlines, no massive troop deployments overseas. But if you look north, way north, you'll find a nation with steel in its spine and snow in its soul. Welcome to Norway, land of fjords, fish, and firepower. This Scandinavian country may be better known for Viking heritage, Nobel Peace Prizes, and Eurovision memes, but behind the serene forests and eco-friendly cities lies one of NATO's most advanced and underrated militaries. And today, that military is shifting into high gear. Let's get straight to the numbers, because they're jaw-dropping. Norway is doubling its defence budget by 2036. Not increasing, not improving, doubling. We're talking about an additional 56 to 60 billion USD being pumped into one of the most strategically placed militaries on Earth. For context, that's more money than some countries make in a year. And when Norway spends money, they don't mess around. It's not a question of quantity over quality, it's quantity and quality. And with a touch of Arctic ingenuity. What is Norway buying with this mountain of kroner? Everything. New tanks, new jets, new submarines, new satellites, new cyber infrastructure, upgraded barracks, expanded recruitment programs, advanced radar stations, and even more advanced coffee machines. It's like a defense shopping spree, except instead of Black Friday deals, they're buying things that go boom in the snow. And don't forget the thermal socks. Why the surge? 3 reasons. Russia, and did we mention Russia? Also, global instability, increased threats in the digital and space domains, and the growing importance of Arctic resources. Norway shares a 198-kilometer border with a nation that just can't stop starting conflicts. With the Arctic melting and new sea lanes opening up, that northern frontier is no longer just cold and quiet. It's becoming the front line. The Kremlin is watching Norway, and Norway's watching right back. With binoculars, drones, satellites, and a sharp sense of national purpose. They're not just spending, they're planning. Norway is future-proofing its logistics networks, securing critical infrastructure from cyber sabotage, and establishing hardened communication lines from the southern fjords to the snowy north. This isn't just a reaction, it's an evolution, a reawakening of Viking spirit in digital armor. Let's talk hardware. Norway isn't just buying gear, it's building it. And what they're building is next level. You've got NASAMS, the Norwegian Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System. You may not know the name, but you've seen it in action. It protects the White House. Yeah, Norway built the system that guards the US president. Not bad for a country with more sheep than soldiers. Then there's the Naval Strike Missile. Sleek, stealthy, and nicknamed the Ghost Torpedo. It's designed to sneak past defenses and deliver a knockout punch to enemy ships. The air-launched version, the Joint Strike Missile, can be fired from F-35s. Yes, it flies. And yes, it bites. It's like a ninja throwing star with GPS and a very bad attitude. Norway is also pioneering a new generation of networked weapons. These are missiles that can receive new target info after launch. Think of it as turning a rocket into a flying group chat. You fire it at a ship, then text it halfway to say, actually, hit that other guy instead. Smart weapons, Norway makes them smarter. They've even modernized the legendary M72 Law, a one-shot anti-tank launcher that's been around since the Cold War. It's now lighter, smarter, and still capable of ruining a tank crew's day. In fact, it's so portable and easy to use that even new recruits can handle it with confidence and possibly a grin. It's the kind of weapon that says, I'm small, but I ruin armor. They're also investing in advanced underwater drones, autonomous mine countermeasure systems, anti-submarine surveillance platforms, and AI-guided defense analytics that can map, monitor, and respond to threats in real time. It's a digital age arsenal that gives this small Nordic force a sci-fi edge. Think Arctic Battlestar Galactica. And let's not forget, all this gear isn't just built for Norway. These weapons are exported across the globe. It's IKEA meets Lockheed Martin. Flat-packed freedom, just add NATO. Assembly instructions included, but some strategic ambiguity may apply. Norway's geography is its destiny, with a massive coastline hugging the Arctic and direct proximity to Russian territory. It serves as NATO's northern shield. Enter the Finnmark Land Command. Based near the Russian border, this elite force is the military equivalent of parking a bear trap next to your neighbour's front lawn. Ready, watchful, and very cold. They train year-round in brutal winter conditions, conducting exercises that would make most armies cry into their thermal socks. This isn't just about defence, it's about deterrence. Norway's presence in the Arctic tells Moscow, we see you, we hear you, and if necessary, we can definitely outski you. In silence, with weapons, and probably while holding a cup of hot coffee. Norway's Arctic policy isn't just military, it's integrated into civilian infrastructure too. Airports double as emergency airbases, fishing trawlers share data with Naval Command, mountain cabins double as forward supply caches. It's a national network of watchful eyes, alert ears, and frigid resolve. They also conduct regular drills with allies across Scandinavia, simulating Arctic warfare, cyber attacks, and worst-case scenarios. The message is clear. If things go sideways, Norway won't just survive, it'll fight back with precision, speed, and snowmobiles, and probably a well-aimed snowball or two. Despite a small population, Norway's military is elite, efficient, and deeply modernized. The army is agile and highly mobile, designed to fight across mountains, snowfields, and thick forests. Think less tank blitz and more high-tech avalanche. Recent investments have increased the number of rapid reaction units, expanded their artillery capabilities, and rolled out cutting-edge battlefield communication systems. Infantry units now train with next-gen simulation gear, virtual reality platforms, and digital terrain analysis tools. They're incorporating drones, exoskeletons for logistics troops, portable anti-aircraft systems, and advanced thermal imaging to dominate in low-light environments. When it comes to blending tradition with innovation, Norway's soldiers are practically Marvel characters, but with more layers and less spandex. The Navy is expanding fast, with new submarines, upgraded frigates, stealth coastal defence vessels, and helicopters built for anti-submarine warfare. Why? Because the Barents Sea is home to a lot of interesting Russian activity. If a Russian sub sneezes, Norway probably hears it. And they probably already have a sonar file and an interception plan. The Navy also plays host to some of the most capable special operations units in NATO, trained for amphibious insertions, sabotage, Arctic infiltration, and reconnaissance behind enemy lines. Their motto, probably something like, we bring the cold, and explosives. The Air Force, Norway flies 52 F-35A Lightning II jets. Not a typo. That's one of the most advanced fighters in the world, armed with stealth, sensors, and weapons that would make Tony Stark blush. They also operate advanced maritime patrol aircraft, electronic warfare assets, and have integrated drone squadrons for surveillance, communications, and tactical support. In addition, Norway is heavily investing in space surveillance and satellite networks, making sure their air domain doesn't end at the clouds. It reaches all the way to low Earth orbit, with radar and lasers. Add in cutting-edge surveillance planes, elite cyber defense teams, and special forces trained for Arctic warfare, and you've got a military that punches far above its weight class. It's like a compact sports car that somehow has a missile launcher in the trunk, EMP shielding in the seats, and probably seat warmers too, because this is Norway. When you think of big league NATO players, you might picture the US, the UK, maybe France. But Norway, quietly, steadily, it's become one of the alliance's most reliable and respected members. In fact, it's often referred to as a power multiplier, a small country that enhances the capabilities of every ally it works with. Norway isn't just in NATO, it's part of NATO's spine. It hosts critical early warning radar installations, supports NATO Arctic operations, and contributes to strategic planning and logistics for Northern Europe's entire defence posture. It's a nation with its ear to the ice and a finger on the trigger. When things heat up, Norway doesn't sit on the sidelines. It takes its place in the lineup. Just ask the US Marines, who train in the Norwegian mountains every winter, perfecting cold weather combat, avalanche survival, and learning not to underestimate how fast a Norwegian soldier can ski downhill with a rocket launcher and a grin. Then there's NOREX, the Norway-US National Guard Exchange, one of the longest-running international military collaborations in the world. For over 50 years, this partnership has helped build a uniquely tight-knit interoperability between the two nations. They don't just train together, they understand each other's tactics, communications, and command philosophy. And that bond pays off. In every recent NATO exercise, Norway's performance has been praised for precision, speed, and clarity. Whether it's a battalion-sized joint operation or a cyber defense drill, Norway comes prepared, and they bring their A-game. Norway also signed a formal security partnership with the EU in 2024, deepening its ties with European allies and expanding joint defense research, procurement, and shared missions. The agreement enhances continental cooperation on cybersecurity, Arctic monitoring, rapid reaction forces, and even disaster relief logistics. This growing web of trust and readiness means Norway sits at the very heart of Northern Europe's defence plans. Quietly indispensable, always reliable, and armed to the teeth. Norway may be a northern fortress, but its military influence spans the globe. Its soldiers have been deployed to Afghanistan, Iraq, Mali, and South Sudan. Their experiences range from special operations raids to peacekeeping patrols, always backed by a strict code of discipline and professional conduct. These deployments aren't just symbolic. Norwegian troops are often tasked with vital missions, securing forward bases, mentoring local forces, and establishing civilian safe zones in conflict zones. And they're not afraid to get their boots dirty. When disaster strikes, Norway's name often appears in the first wave of responders. Their military is equipped with rapid deployment medical units, logistics support teams, and search and rescue capabilities that make them indispensable in humanitarian crises. Earthquake, flood, civil conflict, Norway shows up with helicopters, medics, engineers, and often hot coffee. They may not have legions of troops, but what Norway sends abroad is elite, equipped, and mission-focused. Whether it's defending NATO's eastern flank or supporting UN peacekeeping, Norway shows up with tools that work and troops that know how to use them. Their defense exports amplify this effect. Norwegian-made counter-drone systems are now standard for many NATO members. Their advanced sensors and missile platforms, like the Naval strike missile, are shifting global battlefield dynamics. In short, Norway isn't just protecting its own turf, it's shaping how modern war is fought across the board. Small country, sure. Small ambition, not a chance. Norway's population doesn't allow for million-man armies, but what it does have is a smarter approach to manpower. Starting with conscription, currently being expanded from 9,000 to 13,500 personnel by 2036. And unlike many countries where conscription means bored teenagers peeling potatoes, Norway's model is selective, competitive, and technologically advanced. It's an honor to serve, and the training reflects that. Conscripts learn everything from cyber warfare fundamentals to winter survival, and they graduate not just as soldiers, but as high-functioning, multi-domain operators. With elite training regimens and year-long deployment cycles, Norway's conscripts can outmatch many professional soldiers from larger nations. Retention and recruitment efforts are also ramping up. Norway offers one of the highest military pay scales in Europe, top-tier health benefits, and guaranteed career development tracks, including for cyber specialists, drone operators, logistics experts, and electronic warfare technicians. They're even investing in education partnerships, where serving personnel can earn degrees in engineering, cybersecurity, or intelligence studies while on active duty. It's part of a broader philosophy. A smarter soldier is a stronger soldier. The end goal, a lean, professional, and technologically superior force. Think less brute force, more precision strike team with a national anthem. Let's talk fuel. Not metaphorically, but literally. Norway is the 8th largest exporter of natural gas in the world. And when Russia decided to weaponize energy supply, it was Norway that stepped in to keep the lights on across Europe. Its gas fields in the North Sea and pipelines like Langeled and Europipe now serve as lifelines for NATO nations. That's not just economics, that's strategy. When gas became geopolitics, Norway became the supplier democracy depended on. Recognizing this, Norway is heavily militarizing the protection of its energy infrastructure. Naval patrols guard offshore rigs, drones monitor pipelines, and undersea sensor networks detect any suspicious activity. Cyber forces have specific mandates to protect critical energy nodes from sabotage. They even conduct joint drills simulating attacks on subsea cables and energy platforms. Norwegian energy isn't just powering homes, it's powering the political will to resist authoritarian aggression. Every cubic meter of gas is a soft power statement backed by hard power readiness. That's why NATO planners treat Norway's energy grid like a critical front line. Norway's strategic importance is far bigger than its size would suggest. As the Arctic becomes a new theatre of competition, with Russia, China, and even NATO recalibrating their Arctic doctrines, Norway is at the epicenter of that emerging chessboard. From hosting NATO's largest cold response exercises, to managing key air bases and maritime choke points, Norway has made itself indispensable. Its terrain has become the ultimate testbed for Arctic warfare strategy. It guards critical undersea cables. It monitors polar satellite traffic. It's even investing in space surveillance stations to protect European space assets. Their new multi-domain command center in Bodø links space, cyber, land, air and sea operations under one digital roof. Norway represents a textbook example of smart power, combining economic leverage, diplomatic clarity, technological edge, and military capability into one coherent national strategy. And they're not done. Plans for more advanced drones, submarine upgrades, and satellite constellations are all in the pipeline. So, the next time someone laughs off Norway as the land of reindeer and fjords, remind them, this is a nation that can shoot you from a mountain, jam your communications from a basement, disable your drone from a patrol boat, and livestream the whole thing in 4K. Norway's military power is on another level, and it's only climbing higher. With rising global instability, the world's safest fortress might just be tucked behind the Norwegian tree line, and if all else fails, they'll still out-ski you. With a thermal scope, a satellite uplink, and a 21st century version of Viking Resolve.